Hey Corbin, do I really need to get my oil changed at the dealership?
It's pretty important to get it done here. We've got trained technicians. We use OEM parts. This is the best place to have your car looked at for any other things that are wrong with the car. We know Hondas because we live, dream, die Honda.
Hey Ethan, is a tire rotation just a suggestion? What happens if I skip it?
So when you skip tire rotations, typically on most cars are either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. On a front-wheel drive car, you're going to have extensive tire wear on the front of the tires while the rears aren't putting as much work in. So your fronts are going to wear sooner than your rears. And what this means is if you don't do your tire rotations, you're going to end up having to replace your front two tires before your rear ones, which means having to do tires sooner. And tires are expensive, so we want to keep those babies lasting as long as possible. So first thing we want to do is we want to rotate our tires on especially front-wheel drive vehicles. All-wheel drive is also still important. They still end up getting more power to the front wheels and the rears. So you still want to rotate those tires. So yes, while it isn't required to drive the vehicle, if you neglect rotating your tires, you are going to eventually end up having to replace them sooner. It's me again, yeah.
See you again. All right. Okay, why does the dealership recommend services I don't typically see on my dash?
Well, the lights on your dash are a mixture of time and mileage-based recommendation that Honda has. So they're just it's a system. Their computer essentially just computes the mileage and time and says, we think we should get this changed around then.
Right.
It does it for oil changes, filters, all this stuff. What I also recommend, though, is the manufacturer has a strict mileage-based recommendation. Like, oh, they recommend an oil change every so often. Or they recommend, oh, you should replace your brake fluid or your coolant every 45,000 miles. So typically, our recommendations actually go in line with that. They do typically correlate fairly heavily. But sometimes you'll hit the 45,000 miles where the manufacturer might recommend something and the light hasn't kicked on yet. That does not mean that fluid isn't degraded at all, though. Because, again, the light isn't measuring the fluid. It's not telling you how good it is. It's simply just a indication of when it thinks it should be changed. And that is a very basic computer system. So while there's nothing wrong with it, it can help you anticipate what might be coming up. The best recommendation I have is to go by the manufacturer recommendations, which we go based off of. We don't just simply go based off the codes on the dash.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.